was right there with me, and it came down to the last 25, and I could see him to my right. We're heading into the finish, and I was just saying to myself, I can't let this kid beat me.
Hello and welcome to our first ever episode of Feed the Flame. Woo! Feed the Flame is where we interview former or current student athletes as well as others involved in the sporting world to get an insight on their experiences relating to our monthly themes. I'm Giselle.
And I'm Megan. We are your interviews for this episode.
For those who aren't familiar with Adam, here are some of his achievements. Adam is currently ranked 6th overall in Hong Kong for men's swimming. This year he competed in the World Aquatics Championships in Fukuoka and was on the Mare Nostrum Tour of 2023. Last year he swam in the 16th FINA World Short Course Championships in Australia, the FINA World Cup, the 19th FINA World Championships in Budapest, and won silver in the men's 200 breaststroke on the Monaco leg of the Mare Nostrum Tour of 2022. We'd first like to hear your take on our theme, particularly the word consistency. What does that word mean to you?
Consistency to me in what I do with my day-to-day life is all about repetition. It's about keeping the same values and morals throughout, the day, throughout the week, throughout the months.
What was it like being consistent, not just swimming and training in the pool, but also studying and being a student? Because I find that sometimes it's hard for me personally to maintain my balance between studies and swimming. So we wanted to find out whether you shared any similar struggles.
The athlete-student lifestyle is not easy, where most people would have time like before school or after school to focus on academics. Athletes will be busy obviously training. So it's about making use of your time where you have it and being consistent in using that time. So for me, when I was a student athlete, I would always have a routine in the week where I would plan my free periods and plan what full work I would need to do to catch up, or not even catch up, but get ahead, because it's easy to fall behind on work if you're, a student athlete, because you're just busy a lot of the time.
Have you encountered some challenges in the efforts to be consistent?
My consistency for me has always been there. I've always turned up to training. I'm always there. But it's not the same with motivation and determination. Sometimes I can dwindle. So it is tough, especially with stress of studying if you are a student athlete. But as long as you're consistent and you trust what you're doing, everything will work out in the end. And motivation comes and goes. It's a case of how you deal with that, how you move forward.
Would you say that consistency is individually driven, or does it take the people that surround you to sort of give you that extra push of motivation?
I would say it's individual, yeah, but it definitely helps if you are surrounded by people that have the same drive, same commitment and same consistency as you. Turning up to practice day in, day out by yourself is obviously a lot harder than if your friends are there as well and your teammates are all there every single day and have the same goals and targets as you. It does make it a lot easier than if you're training, by yourself. I've been lucky enough to have teammates that have the same consistency and same drive as me, which is nice. But at the same time, I've had periods in my training where I'm training by myself, and that definitely is a lot harder, but it depends how mentally tough you can really be.
I'm not a swimmer, but I do know from Giselle that swimming is a very tough individual sport to excel in, especially in the modern swimming world. There are many up and coming, young talent shaping time fairly quickly. What's your mindset like moving forward in this sport with these people in mind?
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously being 26 years old now, I'm one of the older ones on the team, and there are some fast guys coming through. For me, it's a case of I just need to train harder to be faster. There was a race back in April where I broke the 200 breast national record. There's a young boy you might know he's also called Adam, and he was right there with me, and it came down to the last 25, and I could see him to my right. We're heading into the finish, and I was just saying to myself, I can't let this kid beat me, because at the end of the day he's still a kid. But yeah, these kids they're getting faster and faster. So for me, it's just a case of I just need to work harder to be faster. And it's nice that they're getting faster as well, because it gives me extra drive, extra determination, and at the end of the day, being just consistently better and more driven to be faster.
Do you have any tips for student athletes who are having difficulty with consistency, like in their studies or their training in general?
It comes down to maybe working on like smaller things first and being consistent, whether that be, having the correct diet for their lifestyle, or whether it's making use of like free periods here and there, just everything that could add up together to become a more consistent and more beneficial lifestyle will always work. It's not easy being a student athlete and being consistently good in both your training and academics. I mean, I'm saying all this stuff to you guys today, but I wasn't the best. I didn't make use of my time. Being effective in time management as well, planning ahead, and just reminding yourself of like targets and goals, what you want to achieve in your training, in your sport, but also academically, because that's just as important. Sport can only take you so far, especially with age. I can't swim forever, so academics is obviously just as important as becoming that level in sport that you want to be.
Thanks a lot, Adam. That brings us to the end of this week's episode. If you want to know more about our theme for the month of November, the true power of consistency, be sure to check out our website or our Instagram page. I'm Megan.
And I'm Giselle.
See you next week!